All right, we are live and we are on episode 11. Two more episodes left until the season finale of season 4. And it
Yeah,
is episode 11, Crawl Space. And my
yeah,
God, I forgot how great of an episode this was.
yeah. It was.
I mean, it was like 60% comedy out of the whole thing and like 20% drama. It was
Yeah,
just a great episode. But let's get with the
yeah,
teaser. And the teaser instantly picks up where we left off on the last one at the makeshift hospital, and Gus is on what apparently to be the deathbed, and Mike is not really being tended to. It was solely on Gus. Mike was just second.
yeah. And Jesse's like, "Hey, this guy needs help. He needs help." And the doctor said, "This man pays my salary." And
Yeah,
he was referring to Gus. So yeah, Mike was kind of second class, I guess.
I think Mike knew. I think Mike would have known that he's going to be second fiddle to
Yeah, I
Gus.
think so. Hey,
Hey, Ellen,
Ellen.
Hey guys, how are you?
what's
Hi.
up?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that yeah, Gus was the important one. Mike not so much,
Hmm.
and that's why they tended to Gus first because he paid their salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike didn't set that up.
Right.
That was a
So
professional gig they had going there.
yeah, I mean, they
It
had
was.
they had all their blood type. They had samples of all their blood. They had Jesse's, they had Gus's, and they had
Gus's and
Mike's.
Mike's. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, this is high class dollar stuff right
Not
here.
only on the type, but they ran a lot of labs on his blood. I wonder how they got this blood. I mean, he knew they ruled out all kinds of diseases from just like general lab work that you normally get done,
Hmm.
you know?
yeah,
And he knows, of course, a tox screen was done too, and the weed came up.
Yeah, I mean, this is professional grade right here.
it was. Yeah, it was amazing how they were able to get Jesse's blood type and because the guy I think he said A negative, and Jesse's like, I don't know, I
A
guess
positive, I
A
think.
positive. That was it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Jesse didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I mean, the way the teaser was really great. The way that they set it up,
Yeah.
and then you know, I mean, and then let's see, I forgot what happened after the teaser.
Walt was cooking meth, and apparently he was 2 pounds light. He added 2 pounds
Yeah.
on the meth, and
Yeah,
Tyrus caught him.
why would he do that?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
even know why he would do that.
I'm not
Just to
sure
be
either.
rebellious? Because he's not happy right now. He's
No, because
definitely not happy.
I mean
Hmm.
Jesse's not there, and he's wondering where's Jesse. He's coming back.
Yeah, he's.
And he knew that Tyrus is going to check him again, because that's what Tyrus has been doing up to this point, is to recheck the pounds.
Yeah.
So it's interesting why he would do that.
He's scared for himself, but he's scared for Jesse at this point too, and he's
Hmm.
these what one of the interesting things about this episode is that Walt and Jesse not getting along right now,
Yeah.
and Jesse's the one who doesn't really want to mend any fences here, but they're looking out for each other.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
Jesse not
So,
so much toward the end, but
and then
What
also
Well,
one
what's
other
just
thing.
interesting is that Jesse basically stood up for Walt early in the episode and
hmm
saying that do not kill him, that there's going to be problems.
Walt and Jesse did the same thing. Although Walt said it's Tyrus. If something happens to Jesse, if Jesse's gone, I'm done. I quit.
Yeah. Well, one interesting thing that happened was they left Mike down there. They said he couldn't travel for a week.
Mm.
Mhm.
So, Mike had to stay there.
Yeah, Mike took the back seat in this episode.
We saw Gus and Jesse. They had to walk 6 miles to the Texas border and then get a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Gus says, there's many ways south, but there's only one way north.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. That's what Gus told
But
Jesse.
when it's Tyrus and Walt in the lab though, before that, he's asking questions. I forgot what he asked. Oh yeah, that's right. He brings up the Hank
the chicken farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask if it's cleared and everything.
Uh-huh.
And and he's asking questions about it, like I should do this, right? I should watch him. And Tyrus doesn't say a word, and then there's the gate for the elevator, and the elevator itself, and Walt is shut out, and it was very symbolic of that. They said in the commentary.
It was. And let's see.
So we see Hank and Walt at the chicken farm, and they're basically spying. They're on there,
and Walt knows that the chicken farm's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's happy to watch the chicken farm.
Yeah, that's the only place he can watch is the chicken farm until he gets to the laundromat that Hank brought up, and he wasn't even aware of that.
Nope.
Yeah. Because Hank kind of connects the dots a little bit, realizes that there was this huge industrial strength air purifier.
Sold by Madrigal.
Yes, sold by Madrigal. Yes, and a one Gail Bedecker picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pieces of the puzzle together, including Gus.
Mm-hmm.
And Walt doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the only thing he can do is be the one to go with Hank, so he knows what's going on. He knows what he sees.
Yeah, because Hank would go either way. He would go with Walt or without. He'll find a way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Hank brought up the Gitmobile that he bought.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was after the laundry. Avoiding the laundry the hard way.
Yeah. Walt.
They literally destroyed that car for that scene.
Walt decided to get into a wreck.
Yep.
Just to keep Hank away from it.
Oh, that's the only way he could have done it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any other way.
He's getting blamed for this. By the time things come to a climax at the end, even Jesse is saying, you brought your brother-in-law to the laundry, to our lab. And Walt didn't really have a choice.
Yeah. I mean, he was handcuffed, basically. He didn't know what else to do. He had to, obviously, try and find some other way out, and the other way out was the wreck.
Yeah. Because, Hank was obviously starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Hello, kitty.
She's been sleeping all day, and now that I sit down to do something, she's got to come out.
Yeah.
All right, so and Ted is back in this episode, and he's being hard-headed again.
Not as hard-headed as he like to be.
Oh yeah, as we saw.
Yeah.
He calls Skylar at home.
Yeah, he does.
And leaves a message. So let's see. I think was it Saul? I forgot when Saul called.
No, Saul. That was later in the episode.
Yeah.
He called his A-team.
It was Hugh, my man Hugh.
Hugh and
Well,
Kirby.
Skylar called him.
Kirby, yeah.
Yeah.
Skylar called him, right.
Kubi, and
Kubi.
yeah, Skylar called him because she saw Ted first.
Yeah.
And had that discussion where he just didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was still refusing to pay the IRS.
I think the only reason that I can be other than his business is that I think he's trying to get back at Skylar for putting him on. That's the only reason I can think of why he's not paying the IRS and taking Skylar's advice.
Yeah.
He also isn't really happy with the fact that she's not hanging out with him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the primary colors they were wearing in that scene. She's wearing a green shirt, like she's the money woman. And he's wearing a blue shirt, like, Skylar shirt, like. But he doesn't make too much sense. I mean, the first argument was lame because he said it would be wrong.
Yeah.
And, well, you're in this trouble because you did something wrong to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you just get out of it? And no, it wouldn't really change anything because I still wouldn't have the money for the business, and I'd still have to take my kids out of their expensive private school and blah 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 blah. It's like, I don't know. It's like, don't stop the bleeding because I'll still have a cold.
Yeah.
It's not. And it is a better deal. And she's giving him the money for this purpose, and she's like, write it. And without seeing it, he didn't. She gets in the car. She immediately calls Saul.
Yeah.
And
He
puts
sends Huel and QB over there. Now Ted thinks that they're being sent by Skylar.
Well, he knows, but they are
technically by Skylar.
Yeah,
I mean, if it wasn't Skylar calling Saul, then they would be over there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. So it was kind of, in a way, it was kind of.
But there was before we get to that, there was a little foreshadowing with the rug. He tripped over it once.
Yes, he did.
And there were oranges.
Yes.
Which, were totally there on purpose. Mm-hmm. But we see the oranges in that scene. He trips over the rug. Dumbass, you gotta move that rug. You're gonna fall. And we think he's dead.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we really do think he's dead. They play that off for.
So eventually that they come in, they force him to write the check, and then they say they have to sign this paper. And then he signs it, and then he decides he's going to try and run. And that's when he trips on the rug, slides, and bam!
And all the oranges come tumbling down.
Yeah,
all over his head.
A little hard-headedness right there.
Yeah, I mean, he broke his neck when he did that, so. Because we're going to see later on, we're going to see in a later episode where he's in the hospital with one of those apparatuses.
Yeah, brace. He's, big old brace.
Yeah.
God, totally forgot what I was going to say there. Oh, yeah, because, Saul is talking to Huel and Kubi about the incident, and it doesn't sound good. And then that's when Walt busts in. Mm-hmm. He wants to disappear. But that's...
I like what QB said about, we want to make Huel happy. Huel, are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Reasonably.
Well, how about Gus going right to Hector with the necklace and with Jesse? And
yes, he was taunting Hector. He was taunting him. It's like, hey, all of them are dead now. Yep. Even your grandson. And this is the man who killed him, who killed your grandson.
Yeah, Hector's the only one left in this.
Yeah.
And he's emotionally upset. He's like, crying and seething at the same time.
Yeah.
His facial expressions, his eyes.
Yeah, and
But
Gus said, I believe you two have met before, which they had, because remember, Hector was saying with Tuco.
that's not how Gus knows about it. I had to think about that. It was when it was a DEA meeting, I believe. Weren't Hector and Jesse in the same room shortly after the whole thing with Tuco? And do you know this man? You know this man, right?
I think so.
And Hector wouldn't say it because he doesn't snitch.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to tie them together. Hank must have been doing it. Hank was
Oh,
doing it.
yeah. Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Gus
So
knows
Gus,
who goes to the DEA when.
oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. It wasn't because
Yeah.
of the meeting they had when Jesse and Walt were taken prisoner by Tuco.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Hector wouldn't say, yeah, that guy was at my house. And I think that's when they did that whole competency test
Oh, yeah.
on him. And he wouldn't ring the bell.
Right, yeah. I think next episode is where we're going to see him try to spell out some expletives.
Oh, that'll be, or is that the very last episode?
I think
It's one.
it's next episode.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, he's
think
going to
so.
visit the DEA just to be seen going to the DEA to get Gus's attention.
Yeah.
I think it might be the last episode because that happens, and then that's when Gus comes and tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Mm.
So let's see. All right. Then we have Walt going over to Jesse's, and Jesse has Brock and Andrea there with him. They're playing video games. He's playing video game with Brock, and Walt shows up, and I mean, he and Jesse had a very tense confrontation.
Yeah, that is interesting because I don't know why Jesse's still mad at him. I think the only
Because,
reason is the whole laundry thing, and I think that's it.
yeah, and the vibe he's getting from Gus, from Tyrus, and everybody is that, you know, Walt is compromising us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's thinking that he's going to stab him in the back.
Although when they get to the desert, Walt is like, you know, you can't kill me or I'd already be dead because, you know, and you can't kill me because Jesse wouldn't cook for you if I did.
Yeah.
And Gus acknowledged that loyalty. He's like, for now, until that changes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Gus told Jesse, he's like, "Hey, you're going to be the guy."
Jesse was like, yeah, no, not if Walt's gonna die. No, I'm not gonna be the guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like,
Gus
just
is
fire
trying
on.
to do everything in his power to have Jesse make the okay to kill Walt.
Yeah. He is. So let's see. We see after the confrontation between Jesse and Walt, which mostly involved Jesse shoving Walt, like, "Get out of here, man! Get out of here! I don't want to talk to you."
And Tyrus is right there, on the spot, taser time. And
Then that's when,
apparently they make him drive his car, or they give him a ride in his own car to meet Gus in the desert.
yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, what a confrontation this was.
Yeah, that was a great confrontation.
Yeah,
After
Gus
Gus said that he doesn't believe in fear to be an effective motivator.
Yeah, but yeah. He's like, "You're done. You're fired."
We're going after your brother-in-law, and you're not going to interfere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we'll
And if
kill
you
your
do-
entire family.
Yep. Yep.
And,
I will kill your wife. I will kill your infant son. I mean, your
Infant
teenage
son.
I will kill your infant daughter.
Yeah.
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 Great confrontation.
One vicious thing after another. Gus, last episode, this episode.
Mhm.
Oh, and plus, the way he taunted Hector, the necklace, and
Yeah, I mean
And the
this.
set that Gus has on him.
Gus is getting his revenge left and right.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Old enemies and new.
Yep. So Walt panics. He goes to Saul, asks him about the deal with the disappearer, and he's like, "This is for this is for a vacuum cleaner repair company. That's his cover. That's the guy. Ask for the Hoover such and such vacuum cleaner."
Yeah, the vacuum cleaner part. And then he's going to call
Yeah,
you back in 5 minutes. And then after that, you're on your own.
yeah,
Thing is that Skylar took away half of the money and gave it to Ted.
yeah.
And then Walt ended up laughing.
Yeah, he was in the crawl space, and then Marie called the house and said that they'd gotten a tip that somebody
From
was going to kill.
Saul.
Yeah, the
Was going to
cartel's
try.
back out to
Yeah,
get after Hank.
was going to try and kill Hank because Walt said, "I need you to alert to tell them. I need you to call Hank's house and tell them."
He
Mhm.
said, please tell him that Gus is going to. And he's like, I won't do that. I'll say the cartel.
Yeah,
And that's what he did.
Yep.
yeah,
And yeah, such a tense scene because, and it's like when she says that she gave it to Ted and it was for the family and I need to explain it to you, whatever. And he starts laughing. The music just gets sucked into that moment.
it
And he's
does.
laughing and she's just looking at him like in horror. She's going through a whole bunch of emotions at that point.
And
And
there's that great shot of the camera pulling away while he's laying in the crawl space.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
framed like a picture.
very reminiscent of the series finale.
Yes,
hmm
yeah,
But
that was a
it
great
goes
camera
silent. The
shot.
music just goes gone,
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
and then it gets replaced by this sound that's like either a very like a strong slow heartbeat or more like maybe slow footsteps coming your way. But it's very ominous, and then the phone call comes in after that, and it's layers of tension and stress.
Yeah,
Yep.
And but you think about it. I mean, what he was going to do was take off just the four of them and leave Hank and Marie to their own devices.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's what they were going to do, but
Now they can't. They
yeah.
can't. So there's got to be an alternative plan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean this was a tremendous episode. So much happened on this episode.
Yeah. And I commented in the beginning. I said, like, most of this episode was comedy based. I mean, you had this stuff with Saul. You had Hank, saying he's going to get a Gitmobile.
Oh, yeah. Stay classy.
Oh yeah.
Wearing one of
Marie.
those cones so I don't lick my own balls. Yeah, stay classy.
Yeah. Yeah, Betsy Brandt, she's on this new show on CBS called Life in Pieces.
Don't I know it? Yeah, and I'm finally seeing her as Heather and not Marie.
Now,
She's
Bob
quite
Odenkirk has a show with David Cross on Netflix.
Yes, with Bob and David. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, because I love Bob Odenkirk. Now, he had a show, I think it was on HBO. It was
Mr. Show with Bob
Mr.
and
Show.
yeah,
That was it, yeah.
that Netflix series is just like Mr. Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think that's
Cool.
pretty much it in this episode of Breaking Bad.
Yes, everybody yawns their way through.
Let's get
People
to
are tired, people.
let's get to the big elephant in the room, The Walking Dead, and
Episode 15, East.
and let's see here, Ellen. You got anything to say?
Not
What
looking
we saw?
forward. Not looking forward. That's all I can say. I've warned them at work that on Monday I may not be doing so well, and so it's a matter of who. It's not a
It
matter of
is.
if, it's just who.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So let's see the teaser for this episode for East. We had Tobin find the note. Well,
Uh,
uh,
oh no, he
Yeah.
found it at the end of the other
oh, that's
episode.
right. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
And
Yeah.
now it's like all the good people, the ones who can defend Alexandria, are out there.
Yeah.
Because, and some of this is kind of stupid. First of all, it is stupid that Carol left, and as we see, it doesn't achieve her goal of being able to live as a pacifist without killing people.
Mhm.
Daryl's going after Dwight and everybody.
Which I called it. I said he was going to go after Dwight, not
You
after
did,
Carol.
and I was confused. I thought he died, and yeah. So and was it Sasha Abraham and who goes after
Rosita
Rosita, Abraham, and
and
Glenn
Glenn.
go after Daryl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're trying to bring Daryl back, and we got Rick and Morgan going after Carol.
We got Michonne and
So, yeah.
wait.
Yeah, Michonne was out there with Rosita and Glenn and
I think
That's right.
Glenn and Michonne was the ones that got tied up, and
Yeah.
Daryl and Rosita was the ones that saw them
Right.
and was trying to get them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then we got the quest for Carol.
Yeah.
And that's
Morgan told Rick to go ahead and go back to Alexandria, and he'll take care of that.
Yeah. And they saw
Yeah.
somebody who ran away. He was in a barn, and they were trying to track Carol. And the guy who ran away. He looked like he was wearing body armor.
Apparently,
Yeah.
from what I've read, that's going to be from a new group. That's going to be appearing in season 7.
Called the Kingdom.
The Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah.
So then Rick comes back, finds out Michonne's still out there, and he goes out again. So so we're gonna have 9 people, like the comics.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Maggie is having issues. I mean, she gets this pain after she gets her haircut. She gets a haircut, and then she has this pain in her abdomen. I mean,
Miscarriage.
She's having a miscarriage.
miscarriage or something. Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah.
She's too
Yeah.
tough. She's in too much pain for that not to be.
Well, at least Negan didn't cause it with the bat, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Although,
wondering
that was
how
her-
does this work as a clue? Does this mean that Glenn is going to be spared, or does it mean, is this like the premonition that
Well, we
she
saw
loses
at
the
the
child
beginning-
and the father?
If you look very closely at the beginning, Carl was examining a pistol. And if you saw very closely on the handle of the pistol was the barbed wire baseball
The
bat.
shape of the bat with the barbed wire around it.
Yes, it was.
So
And we
was
also
he
saw.
a banished member of Alexandria at some point?
I don't know. And we also saw Glenn and Maggie in the shower, and Maggie was really kind of tending to his head quite a bit. Could that be foreshadowing?
Oh,
Bruises.
God.
Glenn showers with Maggie and noticed bruises on her abdomen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Should happen there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Because that's stupid.
Now, at the beginning, we saw Carol sewing something into her jacket. We're like, oh, what's this? We do find out. Oh, man, do we find out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, for a woman who doesn't want to kill, she's prepared to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, then why did she leave in the first place?
Well, see, now I remember what the teaser was. We heard Carol talking to somebody, and we saw this spike coming out of her car, and there was blood dripping from it. And then you hear somebody say, I'm going to do it, or something like that, and we hear a gunshot.
Yeah.
So
I'm not looking forward. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm.
Well, we gotta discuss the ending Dwight apparently shoots Daryl unless it's a tease.
Oh my God! How did I forget that? Oh, I know. Okay, that's a shoulder shot. That's what I'm thinking.
That was too much blood
Yeah.
for a shoulder.
Well,
The angle seemed more like he was pointing down and not
yeah.
at his head.
Well, and one guy theorized that the reason that if that's what happened, if he was shot in the shoulder, then the shoulder shot was his right shoulder, which is the one where the crossbow kicks. So if he
Mm.
can't use that arm to aim the crossbow,
Hmm.
you know, then I mean that's actually smart. Now Dwight says you'll be all right. Now who's he saying it to? We don't know who he's saying it to.
Right.
Could he have shot in Rosita?
Now, I don't know, if you went crazy and went back and watched it over and over again, he was definitely, it seemed like he was definitely pointing at Daryl, but then again, maybe you're onto something.
I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out tomorrow night.
Right. I think he has a special hate for Daryl.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And why would Dwight kill him? I think he would let Negan do the honors.
Maybe, I don't know.
Someone like Negan has to kill Daryl because to establish the character.
Yeah, yeah.
so Daryl, basically, this death is not worthy of Dwight. If Daryl's gonna get killed, somebody big has to do it.
Somebody
Right?
big has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwight is not going to live tomorrow. I can tell you that right now.
But
Who is? What?
I don't think Dwight's going to live. I don't think he's going to make it to the ending of tomorrow's episode.
Well,
Dwight.
that's just fine by me.
But before we get to that, I mean, Carol was trying to get out of there. She was on the road from Alexandria. Those guys knew where she was coming from. These saviors. So they stop her, and she's trying to put the innocent act on, like, oh, I just came from so and so. What was it she called herself?
Slippin' Carol.
Yeah. Yeah, Slippin' Carol. She called herself, I think, Mary from Claresville or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
He made up the whole story, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Carol's good like that. I love her stories.
And then they're about to take her. All of a sudden, these shots come from seemingly nowhere, and we find out she had a freaking gun hidden in her jacket.
Mm-hmm. In her sleeve.
In her sleeve, yeah. That's what she was sewing. That's what she was sewing up. I was like, whoa!
And again, if you're not, well, I mean, you don't need to do that for walkers. So why do you leave because you don't want to kill, but you sew the gun into the sleeve so that you can use it as you're like holding your rotary? It almost feels like that was kind of phoned in, that maybe she could have been out there for some other reason, but
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know.
It's too late. The damage is done.
But there was one guy she was shooting at. The guy got behind the car. Then he gets up, comes at her, and she drives him into the spike.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then later on, when Carol's gone, another guy who was in one of the trucks, he's alive, and he starts tracking Carol.
And Morgan and
he
Rick are
picked up
tracking.
the rosary, by the way. He picked up the rosary.
Yes.
So he's got the rosary now.
We see him walking in the preview, holding it.
Yeah, we do. But he's shot. He's bleeding. He's been shot, so...
And Rick and Morgan are looking for Carol, and they come upon the scene, and they see it in two different ways. Morgan's like, damn, she killed him. And, I mean, he doesn't say it, but you can see it in his face. And Rick says, I'm proud of her.
Mm-hmm. And I like the whole story that Morgan said, that if he killed the wolf, then Denise might have not died, and he did that whole circle of the story.
Yeah, that was good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Rick, it kind of, I mean, Rick seemed a little bit pissed about it at first, but then Rick realized, oh yeah, he has a point.
Hmm.
They were way more civil about their disagreement than Carol and Morgan were.
They were, they were.
Carol
A lot,
actually said, "I should have killed you."
a lot of people thought there was going to be some tension between Rick and Morgan. They thought there was going to be a confrontation, but that's not what has happened.
Not yet. I don't think there's going to be a confrontation yet unless something happens that Morgan does and Rick disagrees with him.
I mean, Rick and
I
Morgan
think by the time a baseball bat hits somebody in the head, Morgan's going to get over it.
uh,
You know, he's going
Rick
to be
and
back in reality. This is the reality.
yeah. Well, Rick and Morgan, remember they helped each other out in the first season.
Yeah.
After Rick got out of the hospital, Morgan was one of the first
And
humans
that
he
was
came
before
across.
his conversion.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and unfortunately, Morgan's son, we found out, was turned into a walker. He had to kill him.
Hmm.
So, but
So
yeah,
my bets are on Glenn.
Glenn, you're doing Glenn.
I think so.
You think
well,
more, do you think there's going to be
there,
more people dying besides
there,
Glenn?
well, what I understand, somebody said there is going to be a cliffhanger, so we may see one death tomorrow night, but then there'll be another Lucilleing, which we'll see from the perspective of the person being hit, and we won't find out till for another 6 months. So
Until
Which I'll
October.
hate. So maybe I won't be in mourning the next day. I'll just be aggravated that I have to wait till October to know. But because Maggie's having the miscarriage, that's why I think so. I think it's foreshadowing that she's going to lose the baby. She's going to lose Glenn, the baby's father. I mean, Maggie is
And
the
Maggie
biggest
got,
loser.
she's got a
She's the
haircut.
biggest loser. She loses everybody in her family, and this is going to be the end.
And
That's
yeah,
Maggie got her hair cut. So that's gotta represent something right there.
Oh, well, that answered my concern. Somebody said it would be explained. Somebody told me. I'm like, but what about her haircut? You see her in those interviews, and she's got short hair, and I'm like, so what? They killed her, and then she went out and cut her hair in real life, and now she's doing the interviews. And somebody told me, no, it'll be explained, and yeah, it was explained. She got a haircut.
You think they might kill Carol off and Maggie become the new Carol?
Oh.
oh, that's a good question. Now, in the comics, Maggie becomes the leader of the Hilltop
Mm.
in the comics. So, and she does have shorter hair.
Hmm.
She does cut her hair in the comics and becomes the leader of the Hilltop.
You think the
Because
group is going to split up?
I don't know. Because remember, Carol was killed off in the comics because she committed suicide by Walker after she found Tyrese cheating with Michonne.
Now the suicide by Walker still might be a probable death for Carol in this.
With a different reason.
Somebody else.
It's a different reason.
Somebody else. Yeah. It could be for somebody else.
That
Or
too.
perhaps Carol and Morgan go to the kingdom. They may change it up a little bit from the comics. Or they may let Carol live, and then she and Morgan go to the kingdom.
Hmm.
If indeed that's where that guy was from.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna
The
go.
one that Rick and
Go.
Morgan saw running away from the barn.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with. It's a toss-up between Daryl and Glenn.
Yeah, I'm going to say so too. I mean, are they going to follow the comics, or are they going to do it differently? Because there are things they've done differently from the comics.
Yeah.
Where, like,
The only reason I'm going to say no on Daryl is he's already hurt and bleeding. And what fun is that? You know what I mean? If you're Negan.
good point. Good
That
point.
guy's already suffering. Let's get somebody who's in good health and
Yeah.
mess them up.
Right. Yeah.
And then he does eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So
Yeah,
in the comics,
yeah. But as I brought up, when Denise, she got the arrow through the eye. In the comics, it was Abraham who got that.
right?
Yeah.
So
Well, what they're saying is they have too many right-hand mans. That there's Daryl, there's Glenn, there's Abraham. Am I missing anybody? Carol's a good
now,
right-hand man, but
if there
Michonne.
are two
yeah,
deaths,
well, she's the ultimate right-hand man
if there are
with
two deaths
benefits.
tomorrow night, could one of them be Abraham?
And who
Right.
says? And who
It
says
could
there's going
be.
to be 2 deaths? There might be more than 2.
Would
Yeah.
Abraham be that devastating? Like in October,
No, I don't
if they
know.
do
I
it
don't.
that
I don't
way.
know. I don't know. I
If
mean,
they do it
but
that way and they leave it as a cliffhanger and we don't know until October, I think it'd be
Norman
like,
Reedus.
oh, okay, Abraham. I mean, that's sad, but it's not Glenn and it's not Daryl and it's not
Yeah.
Carol. You
Yeah, I
know,
don't
Norman
think
Reedus.
Abraham.
Norman Reedus has already said in an interview that he would be back for season 7. Now, what that means, I don't know.
It could be for the first episode of season 7, or all of season 7.
Yeah.
hmm. Uh,
And Shane, you mentioned the other
stress.
night that he might bleed out.
Yeah, I did. I think Daryl might bleed out.
Well, if somebody gets him wrapped up pretty well, then not. But yeah, he's a long way from medical help.
He is.
Hmm.
He's been captured by Dwight.
And apparently Stephen Ogg is going to be on the season finale tomorrow night.
Yes, he is.
The
Who's
same
that?
guy, that had all them guns in Better Call Saul, and Mike took them away from him. That's Stephen Ogg.
He was on. Oh my God.
That was Better Call. Yeah, that was Stephen.
Oh, sweet. So somebody from Better Call Saul is going to be on Walking Dead.
The
Sweet.
guy with all the guns?
Remember when he was? Remember those 3 guys in Pimento
Yeah, yeah. Now I
at
remember.
the
Oh yeah, that was the guy.
at the parking garage?
Oh, and he was like, "Yeah, show me if you can do it," and he did it. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that's Stephen Ogg.
I
Stephen
gotcha. And
Ogg.
he's a big
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
right?
He's not that big.
But he was bigger than Mike.
Yeah.
Now, now in the preview for tomorrow night, there's somebody they come across these group of saviors in the road, and there's somebody laying on the ground. Now, some said it was Morgan, some said it was somebody else. I thought I saw dreadlocks on the guy, which would mean it would be Heath, who we haven't seen in a while.
I thought he died.
No, no, no. Heath didn't die. No, he's still around.
Yeah, he's puttering around at Alexandria with, it's.
No,
Haven't seen
he and
him.
Tara left. Remember, he and Tara left. They went somewhere.
Oh. No, Tara was there last week.
I didn't see her there.
Yeah, she was like jumping on. Oh, no, never mind. I just had a flashback to a Noah thing. Ignore me.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right.
No,
You're
she
right. You're
was.
right.
No, she wasn't on last week, so she does not know about Denise yet.
Mm.
That's going to be bad when she finds out about Denise.
Well, I expect to see some of those weird sideways head things with Rick tomorrow night.
Yeah,
When he
stuff,
gets really
You
excited.
guys saw the teaser, right?
stuff, and things.
The teaser was. Remind me.
Yeah,
I did
Rick
watch
says.
it.
Teaser with Negan.
Rick says we can negotiate, and the guy's like, "No, we don't negotiate."
Oh, this is like new that just came out.
The one
Yeah,
that I showed you last week.
Oh, last week.
and then we have Negan from behind. We hear him say, "Hi, I'm Negan,"
And they showed the bat.
and we see Lucille. Yes.
I don't know why they called it Lucille. I don't like that name for the bat.
Well, that's what it is in the comics.
I like calling it the bat. I think it sounds better than Lucille.
Well, B.B. King's guitar is named Lucille.
But let's talk some Better Call Saul.
Oh,
Jimmy
yes.
got fired
On purpose.
Yep,
on
yep.
purpose. He did
I
some.
called that too. My roommate and I were watching, and I was like, as soon as they said, "Well, you have to pay all of this back," I was like, he's gonna get himself fired. And I mean, it started with the shirts,
Yeah, the
the
colorful
suits,
outfits and all that. Oh, yeah. That was
and
the
I was like,
beginning. That was the
yeah.
beginnings of Saul Goodman right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna flush because I'm conserving water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was great. That was
And
great.
bagpipes and the
Oh, yeah.
machine
The juice
and
machine, yeah.
Yeah.
everything he could to get fired. And he knew Ed Begley Jr.'s character there knew Cliff.
Cliff, yeah.
He was doing it on purpose. Well played.
Shane and I were PMing back and forth during that episode. We said, I hope this isn't the last we see of Ed Begley Jr. on the show.
I like it. I like his character.
He's great. He is great. Ed's great.
Yeah, he was in 6 Feet Under too, and oh my God, I think the first time I ever saw him was back in the day when St. Elsewhere was on TV. Shane, you probably weren't even alive.
Yep. Yeah.
He was on that. A whole bunch of people. Howie Mandel, Denzel Washington started out on that show.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
To do that for the voice of Kit.
Yeah, William Daniels voiced Kit. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mr. Feeney. Mr. Feeney.
From Boy Meets World.
Yeah, Mr. Feeney. Yeah.
Saul's back in his old car. He
gives up. He has to give up the company car, obviously.
And the apartment.
Yep. He goes back to sleeping at the.
He kept his desk.
He moves his desk in the back of the salon there, the whatever you call it, the spa.
Yeah. And he wanted he was going to try and start his own law firm. He wanted Kim to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
She found a nice compromise.
Kim is still being wooed by Schweitzer, and whatever the name of that law firm is.
Schweitzer and.
That was a curveball for me on Kim because it's like she keeps heading toward the the straight narrow path, and then but she's been doing like 10 years hard labor for Hamlin.
Schweikert. I mean, he's just another Howard Hamlin by a different name.
Right.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Kim has finally got what they wanted. But Jimmy doesn't like it. Kim, she's been put on the back burner because of her association with Jimmy because of Chuck. So she's trying to do her own thing.
Yeah.
Now they're both coming together.
Yep.
But not the same way. She doesn't want to partner with him, per se, because she doesn't like his style. And but if they act independently, work independently under the same roof, share expenses, then that was a really good compromise. As I actually thought that she was going to be done with him like weeks ago.
And she probably feels like maybe she should have been done with him.
She gave him sort of an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Don't ever let me hear about anything like that again. I don't. And he was like, okay, well, okay, as if I won't tell you then. The fabricating evidence thing, doing the videos.
Oh, the cobbler episode! Oh my God!
Oh, and we forgot the teaser with Kid Jimmy, little Jimmy.
Yes.
Epic.
Oh my
that
God.
Was awesome.
Epic.
My roommate and I were debating about whether the guy who was playing his father was Bob Odenkirk, because to me, I was like, I think it's him. I'm like, I was sure. If I had bet my life, I would have been dead, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, you had the guy giving the sob story to Jimmy.
Fun fact about that guy: he was in a couple of episodes of Vince Gilligan's Lone Gunman.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boom. But I want to see more of Kid Jimmy. You know, maybe they can do a spin-off with Little Jimmy
Yeah,
and
and
Little
then he just
Chuck.
rips off his own father too. He was like,
Well, I think he did that because he didn't want to see his dad getting finding out that he'd been scammed.
um. Well, I actually think he did it because his father is just being a wimp and a
Hmm.
doormat and saying walk on me.
Hmm.
And I think Jimmy is just like, okay, fine, I'll walk on you. This money's mine. Because the guy told him, you're either a lamb or a sheep.
Wolf or sheep.
Oh, wolf or a sheep. I thought it was a lamb or a sheep. And I thought that was kind of weird. So you're like either a grown up or a kid. But,
Hmm. But I
uh,
like, and another fun fact is that they shot that for season 1, episode 9, but they didn't use it until now.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, more flashbacks, please. I want to see a little more of Gene.
yeah. I think we're going to see more of Gene.
Go black and white and show
And
us what's going on in
see,
his new pitiful life.
I like to see a flashback of Kim. I think that'd be great.
Well, next week seems like Chuck's gonna have some issues.
Yeah, I saw the teaser.
This might be where Chuck disappears for good.
It might. Henry dropped out,
Oh,
having some issues. But yeah, I hope to see more of young Jimmy, Kid Jimmy, because I think, and plus that whole scene right there really fits in with season 2, because we just got off with the story with Chuck telling Kim about little Jimmy and his escapades when he was little.
and by extension, we need to see little Chuck then.
Oh, I hope we do.
Sorry, I think I played with my headphones too much, and they're okay.
All right,
They
let's
sound
see.
better and terrible at the same time.
Hmm. And Stacy, they got Mike finally got Stacy the house.
Stacy House, what?
Stacy, when Mike finally got her the house.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
Yeah.
House MB and Stacy, and I got confused. Yeah, nice house.
And another fun fact: that woman, the realtor, same realtor for open house and Marie.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yes. The thing that threw me off because she had her hair short and she was thin. She was skinny. But yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow, that went right by me. Nice catch.
I'll listen to the Insider podcast on this.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, excellent stuff.
I don't have time to study. I've been so busy. I barely made it here tonight.
And then
Man.
let's see here. And then Mike and Saul or Jimmy, they went to the DA office and Mike recant his story.
Oh, yeah. But all he said was it wasn't Chico's gun.
Yeah.
He didn't take possession of it, claim
Hmm.
possession of it. Just said, it's not Chico's gun. That's all I'm going to tell you. Which is really kind of a believable story. I mean, because
Hmm.
they're just people you don't mess with.
Yeah, I mean, we saw
And the
the
cops
teaser.
know that.
We saw the teaser for next week, and Mike's up to something. Mike is up to something. He's stalking out the ice cream parlor, and I saw the longer teaser online, and he
Oh,
has
right.
and he has Kaylee helping him putting holes in a garden hose.
Oh, that's
And he's going
right.
to do
Because my
something with that.
roommate was like, maybe This is what happens to Hector.
Yeah, I think this might happen. I think Mike's going to cause the stroke for Hector.
Or a gunshot injury that does it to him. But to me, it just looked like stroke.
Mm-hmm.
But it could very easily be a gunshot if it hits the spine the right way.
Yeah, might be. But I think Henry's having some issues.
I'm looking on the internet. But I have no notes on Better Call Saul, so I don't remember anything else to say.
I think that's pretty much it, the main parts of it. But
I thought he was going to change his name. Do you remember that part where?
Oh yeah, at the end, where
When,
I think he's done with the whole Irish accent. He's done with that.
yeah.
I don't think he's going to change his name quite yet.
But didn't you think he was about to, because he kept re-recording his voicemail message?
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he was going to change his name, but
I wonder if they did that to us on purpose. It was like, psych.
I think so. But
Maybe when he and Kim move into the new office and they get their nameplates, he'll throw it away and make a call and say, I want one to say Saul Goodman. He is starting all over. This would be the time, right?
Yeah, this would be a great time for him to become Saul. But there's
Either
3 more
that or
episodes
when
left.
he breaks up with, somehow he and Kim are going to split and he'll end up in the strip mall. Could be
Thanks,
then.
Henry.
Hi, Henry. So, Henry, your birthday was a week ago today.
Yep.
My brother's birthday is today.
Oh,
and
nice. Happy birthday.
And all I had to do was recycle the same veggie, bacon, and eggs photo because it was the same number. You're a week older than my brother.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was talking about Jimmy. He decided to be a wolf because the guy asked him, "You want to be a sheep or you want to be a wolf?"
Right.
You sound like you're on the water, Henry.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
He's in a barrel of
There we go.
hydrofluoric acid. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, he took money out of the register from his father's business.
Yeah. He decided to be a wolf.
Yeah,
He's trying to steal $90.
I wonder if they're going to show when he actually takes the money from his business. And remember, Chuck said nobody cried harder than Jimmy at the funeral.
We was talking about this, me and Ellen. I think we need to see more of Little Jimmy and Little Chuck.
Yeah, we
do
did.
a spinoff. Do another spinoff.
It could be a web series or maybe something on Netflix or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I think we need to see a Kim flashback.
Yeah. Speaking of Chuck, I was watching. I got Batman: The Dark Knight Returns the other day, and Michael McKean was actually the voice of the Joker's doctor, Dr. Wolper, in that. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was like, that's Chuck's voice. Yeah.
But next week, Chuck's going to succumb to something.
Yeah, I hope it's
So
not
that's a teaser.
That looks like a heart attack in the works right there. That's what I think is going on. Maybe that's the end.
Somebody at your door? I heard some knocking.
Oh no, I was tapping my fingers. Sorry.
Oh.
No more people at my door today. No.
All right. Henry, since you dropped out, any final thoughts on Better Call Saul? Any predictions for tomorrow, for Monday?
Well, but also we saw Mike keeping an eye on the Salamanca place.
Yeah.
He's gonna do more than we were saying. He's gonna do more than keep an eye. Maybe this is where Hector ends up in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Mike's going to cause that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to find out how Hector got his stroke. Yeah. So.
Or spinal injury.
Do you think the cousins will come back Monday night?
That's a good possibility. I mean, we're getting so many great, what do you call it, callbacks to Breaking Bad,
Hmm.
the cousins and Tio and Ken Wins and all that.
Mhm.
And we got 3 episodes left, so Gus may come back in one of those 3.
Yeah, because Mike's definitely not gonna make it in that parking attendant gig. He needs big money
Hmm.
because he's got to take care of his granddaughter and his
And not only
and
that, he needs protection from
Yeah.
the.
Well, now of course, we also saw where Mike and his daughter-in-law were looking at a house, and
Hmm. I brought up that was the same realtor from Open House in Breaking Bad.
I didn't know.
oh yeah, sweet. So I mean, all these callbacks, yeah, all these great callbacks. I mean, the show just.
And they could have had Marie in the background, like stealing stuff, But
Oh yeah, another callback we saw on BCS was the weapons dealer,
Oh yeah,
oh
that
yeah,
was a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
and also Crazy Eight. We saw Crazy
Mhm.
Eight.
I just really felt that Crazy It was gonna be there, but I thought he would have a bigger role. Maybe he will
Yeah.
going forward.
They renewed for season 3. That's going to have 10 episodes.
Yes, that's gonna be awesome. And Gotham
And
is
then
being renewed for
Amelia will
season
have to
three
be around
also.
too.
Hmm.
Well, Amelia, we didn't get to know as much as Crazy Eight, but you would think we'd see Amelia.
No, we probably will. We probably will.
And
Yeah,
when you have those connections, you have Jesse not too far behind.
Yeah.
yeah. There was a
They better
photo
hurry up
of
because they're gonna have to make them look younger.
there was a photo of Dean Norris on the set of Better Call Saul.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
he can be on there now because Under the Dome got canceled, so he's not doing anything.
yeah.
Oh, Under the Dome got canceled.
Yeah, after
I never
season
caught
3.
up with it.
Yeah, they canceled it after season 3.
They could have Marie like make a recurring appearance since she's on Life in Pieces. She could shoot a guest spot or something like that.
Hmm.
If a contract allows it, hopefully it will.
Yeah.
I love Betsy Branch. She is so adorable.
Well, I mean, other actors have done that. If they're on if they're on a show, if they're on a series, but they can also make guest appearances on a show that they used to be on. So.
Hmm.
She was also on a sitcom with what's his
Michael J.
face?
Fox.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that didn't make it long. And I watched it for her, and it was lame. And kind of like the bee in Apartment 23, lame. But then they each got a better show. I mean, Jessica Jones being a stellar show. But
Mhm.
Life in Pieces for a sitcom, it's really pretty funny. I've
Yeah, I
watched the
know.
whole season. The
James
finale was the
Brolin
other
is on
night.
there.
Huh?
James Brolin is on there. Colin
Oh
Hanks,
yeah.
Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah, Colin Hanks. Tom
Yep.
Hanks' son.
Yeah.
Great.
Diane Wiest. I think that's how you
Yes,
say her
Diane
name.
Wiest. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, everybody on that show is stellar. I mean, some of the kids, the littlest girl is amazing. She's she's like the most intelligent one of the bunch. She's
Oh, and by the way, we mentioned there was one F-bomb per season on Breaking Bad. There was another one on this episode also with Hugh said MFer.
mofo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was on the uncensored version.
Right.
Yes. On Netflix, it's uncensored, so.
Yeah, and when we watched it on AMC, it was mofo.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I wish Breaking Bad was on Netflix. I mean, the stuff they could have done if it was on Netflix.
Oh my God, yeah. That
Oh
would have been
yeah.
awesome.
Or HBO.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
Walking Dead was originally supposed to be on HBO, but AMC got the contract. Now, are they going to allow Negan to drop F-bombs uncensored tomorrow night? That's going to be another interesting aspect.
Yeah,
On
that's gonna be great.
AMC.
I don't
So they
know.
only get one?
Because that's part of Negan's character. He's
In
Man,
the
they
comics,
can just he can say it, then just drop the sound.
Yeah. I bet they'll find a creative way for him to be vicious with other words, but
but of course, I mean, when they play on Netflix, obviously it'll be uncensored. When they release it Blu-ray, DVD, and all that.
I really do like that you don't know if they're going to do these things the same as the comics or not, and if they do it, will there be some variation?
Yeah.
You know, Lizzie's
Yeah.
death, that was actually, wasn't it actually Sam in the comics?
I
It
don't
was a
know.
boy, though. In the comics, it was a boy. Yeah.
No idea.
And they get, and then, when the governor lost his eye via Michonne, you figured, okay, they used that up, but they still did it to Coral.
Coral.
Yeah, one thing is Judith has survived on the show past her comic book counterpart.
Yeah.
Because Laurie in the comics gets shot by the governor from behind,
Mm-hmm.
and then she falls on top of Judith.
her.
Yeah, and that crushes her. So
Oh man,
that could be why they're having Maggie have the miscarriage, because they can't have two babies on the show.
maybe.
Judith might be on the chopping block tomorrow night.
Oh Lord, I hope not.
No, she's not going to be out there. She's not out there.
Not unless Negan and his crew.
He's gathering all these people
Alexandria.
who are outside of Alexandria. They're all out.
They're all out, but Negan can always go to Alexandria.
Yeah, he could.
But it seems like they're doing the 9. We did the count, and we came up with 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget how, and I'm not going to try.
Well,
And
I think they're going to have all the main characters out on that road, and they're going to have them all lined up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it'll be eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it's like, this one they really seem to be doing true to the comic so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the bat, it's Lucille, he's probably going to have 9 potential victims. Glenn.
But
Bye-bye,
again, I
Glenn.
mean, they could do it completely different from the comics. Also, they could have it be somebody else.
I know, they could, and then you never know, but this one they seem to really be staying true to it. And Maggie having the miscarriage, they didn't write all this in for nothing.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Henry?
Yeah. Again, it's a toss. I agree with you. It's a toss-up between Glenn and Daryl. Although with Daryl being injured, if indeed if indeed he did get shot in the shoulder, Negan's like, why, try and kill a wounded animal, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's got a bum shoulder. Why would I, Lucille him? Let's Lucille somebody who's a little bit healthier.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's really Daryl's the kind of character that you have to let, if he dies, you have to let that sit and gel and let people take that in. I think it would be almost like dismissive of him if it starts off with him dead and then we get into this tension of the group with Negan. It gets diminished. It's
I
like
agree.
he's already
Unless
done.
that's why they did the tease. They could have done the tease like that so that people can actually set in on it.
Well, it's going to be 90 minutes tomorrow night. So.
Yeah, it's going to be almost an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I don't think everybody. Well, I haven't been looking, but I don't think everybody thinks he's dead.
And there might be a post-credits scene as well. So I'm going to be watching for that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
If there's a post-credits scene.
That might be the introduction of the kingdom then.
Maybe.
And you can see there's this one guy in the kingdom has a pet tiger.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, big kitty.
I don't know how they're going
Well,
to do that.
that's going to be interesting. However they do that. Yeah. I mean, there's so many possibilities. I mean, obviously, we are only speculating.
Yeah.
Miscarriage. Ultrasound, miscarriage. It just makes sense. She's going to lose it all.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think we're going to be right about the miscarriage, guaranteed.
I think so.
And one of us is going to be right of who's going to get the bat, Lucille.
Mm.
It's going to be
Yeah.
the Glenn or Daryl. I'm going to go with the latter and say Daryl. I think it's Daryl.
I think it's going to be Glenn, and the anguish we feel will be through Maggie and her
Yeah.
reaction.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shane's been predicting for the last 3 years, even before he started watching The Walking Dead. Daryl's gonna die. Daryl's gonna die.
Yeah,
So if Daryl dies, I think you might have to blame me for this one.
I'm going to have to riot. And I'm too tired to do that. I don't feel like writing right
But
now.
yeah, it's going to be a good one. Greg Nicotero, he's directing it. Hopefully
Yes.
he'll be on The Talking Dead tomorrow night.
Do they
Well,
have
we
any
know
special guests?
Norman Reedus is gonna be on Talking Dead tomorrow night, also.
Is he?
So
But he's not a
yes.
special guest.
No,
Surprise guest.
he's not a surprise guest. Surprise guest might be Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Ooh, I hope so.
That would be cool.
Who?
Negan,
Okay.
him, Negan
Oh,
himself.
Negan
Jeffrey
himself.
Dean. Yes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I hope so. We need to talk to Negan on this. I feel so sorry for Jeffrey Dean if he's the one that kills Daryl and he shows up on Talking Dead.
Oh, man.
Oh
Maybe
my
they
Oh,
God.
have to.
I told
You know?
my brother-in-law and my sister came by today, and I told them, yeah, you know who's playing Bruce Wayne's parents in the new Batman versus Superman?
Oh yeah, Negan
Jeffrey
and
Dean
Maggie.
Morgan and Lauren Cohen. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Negan and Maggie. And they're like, what? Really? I said, yeah.
Well, it looks like Glenn's gonna die and Negan's gonna marry Maggie and change names and give birth to Batman. All right. On that note, that's going to do it for Breaking BadCast. Next week is going to be
Oh, one more idea
End
about Maggie.
Times. Oh, what's up?
We haven't had a prenatal walker yet. Well, she'd be
Oh.
more like a swimmer, or he'd be more like a swimmer, but I wonder if
What are you talking about? The baby's going to bust out through
the
Maggie's
baby
chest?
dies. When you have a miscarriage,
Hmm.
most of the time, fetus or the embryo is already dead, and it's your body expelling it. So what if the fetus is dead
And
and
it's going to
like
bust out of
ripping
Maggie's
her
stomach?
insides apart, like clawing at her uterus, yanking on the
Oh,
placenta
yeah.
or
Well,
whatever?
he said
Yeah.
it's going to be bloody, and that's possible.
And this might be our first prenatal walker.
Well, let's see. Who was it? Denise saw that baby walker a couple of weeks ago. Remember when she went into she went into that nursery and there was that
Oh, yeah,
crib
the
and there was
car.
that
I thought they killed the kid to keep him quiet.
probably.
Because remember, Hush was written all over the walls?
Yeah, that was freaky.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on to Ellen's theory. I'm going to say that Maggie's baby is going to bust out of her stomach like Alien.
Oh my God. Oh God.
I mean, if you're talking about, a baby walker clawing at her, it's going to come out of her stomach.
Well, and that also explain the pain she's in? Could it have already died within her, and then that's why she's in so much pain?
It might be just trying to get out of her.
It's
Yeah.
either that or, her body is actually going into labor to get rid of, to end the pregnancy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That would hurt too.
Hmm.
it would.
Oh God. I better just make sure I eat hours and hours before this episode because this is really good. This is going to be sick.
Well,
I mean, I think they've been building up to this, and they've kind of phoned in a couple of things here and there, and they're putting everything into this episode.
yeah.
This season has really been good. I mean, I almost gave up on watching the show, but when this season came on, I was like, "Whoa, wait a
I
minute!"
think the second half has been better
I
than the
think
first
so.
half.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Because when I first started watching the second season, the farm season, like people call it, oh my God, that was just horrible. I'm like,
Oh no, I liked that one as these two groups of people got together and the walkers in the barn and Herschel, waiting for the cure, and I like that season better, I think, than this season. This had some highlights.
mm,
Yeah, season 6.1, or this is season 6.2 rather.
Well,
This is really
actually, 6.1 was one of the best episodes ever. That was Terminus.
hmm
yeah, it was good. I mean, this season has been amazing. It really
yeah,
has.
but like between 4 and 5, they had similar storylines. They broke the group up, come back together, break it up again. And it got repetitive, and now they're broke up again.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reviews I was reading. Asked the obvious question: What's the point of having a safe place if you keep going out of it?
Yeah.
It's like, stop. Are they going to learn to stay put?
Hmm.
They're like, I'm going to go walking around by myself in Central Park in the middle of the night. I can't deal.
But see, tomorrow night, all these storylines are going to converge. All of it's going to converge.
Well,
Tomorrow night.
Carol and Rick and all of them is going to meet up, and then they're going to meet up with Negan. I, I think that's what's going to happen.
Mm.
They're all going to come together, and Negan's going to be at the center point.
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
And this is gonna. Oh man, this is gonna be. It's gonna be one of the best episodes of the season, and it's gonna be one of the worst because of what's gonna happen.
Hmm. Oh, and that tiger that I was talking about, his name is Shiva.
Shiva,
Shiva the
I love it.
tiger.
That tiger for Ezekiel
Oh man,
from the kingdom.
maybe that was Ezekiel we saw
Yeah,
last week.
that's some of the theories that's been floating around.
That could have been Ezekiel coming out of that barn.
But all right, so let's go ahead. And this next week is going to be end times, and hopefully Ellen will be able to join on if she's not huddle up into her ball and into her corner because of
Next week I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll do it. And hopefully I'm not going to have as crazy of weekends as I have the last couple weeks, and I'll be able to study.
But yeah, we're approaching the end of season 4 of Better Call Saul. I mean, Breaking Bad, rather.
I know we are.
Got 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
And then the best season is yet to come.
Hmm.
Oh, I can't wait till episode 13 of season 4. Oh, face off.
Yeah. So that's going to do it. Next week is end times, and we're going to talk Negan and whatever happens on Better Call Saul. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Right.